Hi there, this is GeoFlex Media. In today's tutorial, we'll be showing you how to create this. This is a 3D mockup. Sometimes in your project or in trying to do product promotion or advert, you may have need to use a 3D mockup. And this time, perhaps you may not have the budget to do so. And it's a time you're now required to know how to do it, and this tutorial will offer you that value and the benefit to know how to create this. Let's proceed. Yes, here in After Effects we are creating a new composition. Click on new composition. The width is 1920, height is 1080, the frame rate is approximately 30 frames per second, and the resolution is half. Let's not bother about this. And the duration is about actually 32 seconds. Let's proceed. Right, okay, we are in After Effects. Okay, the first thing we'll do is to create those other compositions that will take care of the phone front and the phone back. I'm going to show you how to combine the phones, the pieces of the phones, to be able to arrive at what you saw. Let me show you something on the website. Okay, for you to do this, you will look out for phone accessories, especially the phone front and the phone back. And what this means is that you are trying to get the equal sizes of the phone front and the phone back. In searching through, this is what I used, what I saw. This is what I saw. I had to scroll through several others, scrolling through. I actually searched for iPhone 15 front and back cover, so it brought me to this. So eventually this is what I got. Or I chose, because why I chose this is because both of them are of the same size. So let's go back to where we are coming from. Or before we do that, I have to show you what you need to do having downloaded this. What I did was to take those two, phone front and phone back, to Photoshop. Then I now had to make a selection out of the two. That is, use selection tool, quick selection tool, and select subject. Then separate both of them. Okay, this is the phone front and this is the phone back. But the most important thing to note is that you have to make sure that the height and the width are the same. And I need to show you this. So let me click on this, control click to isolate one, and as you can see, I'm holding shift to make sure. See, it snapped. Sorry, I have to do that again. Alright, so to show you that they are equal, so they have to be equal for us to achieve that in height and in width. So let's go back to After Effects. So here in After Effects, we have to create the composition that will hold the phone front and another one that will hold the phone back. So to do that, we have to go to new composition again. So that composition is not going to be this same size as the final composition. Remember, the first one we created is the final composition that will combine the two front and back parts of the phone. But let me do something here. Before we get in those compositions, I want to rename this. Let me call it final. That is the main comp, really. So this is the main comp. There is it here. There is it here. So we go to new composition. So I'm gonna make this, the weight should be 500. 500 by the height should be about 800, right? So we create this. So our phone, this should actually be phone front. I should have named it over there inside the composition window, but it's okay for it to be named here also. So this is the phone front. So what we can actually do is either to duplicate this, or we'll go back to create the phone back. So okay, let's make it pretty straightforward. Let's go back to create phone back. It's the same. If you actually do come here and say Control D, you rename it to phone back. I'm pressing enter. When I clicked, I press enter to put it in edit mode. So what I'm gonna do now is to type back, to select back, right? So what I have to then open it by double clicking it. So this is the phone front, this is the phone back. But if you don't want to do it that way, let's close phone back, and let me show you here. Let me delete this in the project window or project panel. So you go here, new composition, then back, right? Type back. So it's the same size. Remember, as I mentioned earlier, it has to be the same size. So we click OK, and that is the phone back. The same thing, you can see, same process. Different method, but the result is the same, right? So we want to now bring in those phone accessories. What I have done is to put them in a folder in their separate files. So let's first of all bring in the phone front. So what I'm gonna do is you can close this. You can actually do something like double click. All right, so then you start choosing it. But what I can do, since it's open, I drag it in. Okay. Then this one too, I drag it in. Then that is it. Let's go back to phone front composition. Phone front composition. So we take the asset, which is the phone front itself, and put it here. So what I'm going to do is to increase this view a bit up to 33. Okay, let's do 50. Let's do 50. So we're able to see it clearly. Now I want to take the scale of this phone, the scale property, then increase it a bit. Make sure they are connected. This so that they are increasing proportionally, right? And you also have to make sure that the align property is where is align, and my panels. Okay, that is it. When you click it, make sure it is centered horizontally and vertically. That is another way to make sure that it's at the center. So you continue to increase. You need to take note here that this is 120, the scale of 127. Remember, these things are equal. They have to be equal both here and everywhere they want them to be. So this is 127. Take note of that. So let's go to phone back and bring in the asset. That's phone back composition, and bring in the asset. This is the back of the phone. So we have to do the same procedure. So we center it horizontally and vertically, right? So it's centered on the composition. Then we take the scale of it, just simply type in 127. It will be the same on both axes, X and Y axis of the dimension. So let's go back to the final composition. So what do we have to do now? We drag in the phone front, which is this. We drag it in and drag in the phone back. So this is the phone back. You may not see it because it's at the back of this. So to see it, deactivate the visual or the view. Deactivate the view. That is the phone back. Then this is the phone front. But there's something we are going to do right now. What we'll do is to increase the number of phone backs, phone back to become so many. What we are trying to do here is to achieve some extrusion to be able to show you what you saw. But because we want to achieve some extrusion, we have to then put this in 3D, in 3 dimensions. So how do we do that? We come to toggle switches or modes. Then it will bring out this column of the cube, which is a 3D column. Then we select this and this. We will make this and this 3D. So in order to see something, I want to show you something. Let me go to custom view and let me try and do something. Alright, let me click both of them and try and show you something. I'm trying to, okay, this is what I was supposed to do. Okay, let me click both of them and go to camera view. Now I want to select the camera, put it on custom view, then come here, select the camera. I want to really orbit it. So then I have to increase this view so it gives us a better view of what we're trying to do. Even if we don't select it, since we are on camera view, the camera will try to rotate. Remember, I've chosen the rotation tool, this unify camera to orbit and so forth and so on. But what we are concerned here is the rotation. So you can see it's flat. You can see the back side is flat, right? And this is not what we want. This is not what we want. So what do we want? So what we want is to be able to give it enough extrusion depth to give it back, right? To make it extrude towards the Z dimension and increase the back side. So, and that's what we are going to do right now. So I've returned it to active camera so we see what we are doing. So I have to click the selection tool back. Now to do this, what we want to achieve, as I mentioned earlier, is to increase the extrusion. So let's go to the position property of this. So to do that, we press P, or you simply crack this open and go to P, position. Right, you can see, to show that it's in 3-dimensional form. You can see the x-axis, the y-axis, and the z-axis. And for this animation or for this motion, we are concerned with the z-axis. And how this works is that the z-axis goes towards the back or front, while the x-axis goes left or right, while the y-axis is up or down. So it's good to note that. Right, so let's go to press P again. So I know why I'm taking my time to explain this for those of us that are joining the motion design community not quite long, so they are aware of what we're doing. What I want to do next is to this action should really happen on the back one. We are not concerned about the front assets of the phone. Okay, what we are concerned here is we are concerned about the back side of the phone to to be able to extrude it to achieve that 3D mock-up. And to do this, we press P. We are concerned about the Z position. We press P. So when we press P, these are the 3 dimensions of the position property. So in order to be able to target the Z axis properly, we need to right click on this and select separate dimension. So why we are doing this is to be able to separate all these properties of X, Y, and Z separately, to put it separately, so that we can independently work on them. So what we need to do next is to alt click on our keyboard, press Alt and click on Z position, press Alt on our keyboard and click on the Z position, and that's what we did. And then type index, and I will explain in small letters. So once we do that, what has just happened is that this Z position, you can see, is showing to the index of this thing is the number on each layer, which is this. So it has moved the back phone 1 pixel towards the back, or 2 pixels rather, 2 pixels towards the back. So when we duplicate again, Control D, when you check again, let's press P on the next one, you could see this Z position tallies with 3 here. So we continue to do that and do that. But let us see what we are doing and whether it is what we want, it's achieving the purpose. So we go to custom view again, right? We select the unified camera. I want to increase this view again. Okay, let's increase it more. Okay, while we do this, we'll be watching here. I actually want to alright, let's continue to increase it and see the extrusion depth. I don't think we are seeing this clearly. Maybe I need to put in a solid layer. Let's put in a solid layer to be able to capture that properly, but we are not going to make that solid layer 3D. So let me take solid. Okay, let me take this. This is a bit bright, this is dark because the phone back is dark too. That is why that is happening. What's happening? No, I'm not gonna do that. Okay, I see what happened. Until we position it to normal, that's when we can see that. But in any case, let me change the composition setting to that same color. The composition setting is right, this bright now, solid, the same color, right? So I'm trying to kind of position it properly so we can see what am I doing. What has just happened? Okay, right. So it's a bit of trying to position and see. I want to position it at the place that we'll be seeing the. All right, so this is done now. I'll return it to active view, or rather I'll return it to custom view rather. So we have to increase this more. Control D. As we do so, you can see that the back side is increasing. Can you see? It's increasing. It's increasing. Continue to do until you begin to see the depth of the extrusion. Why this method is good is that it doesn't take a lot of the render capacity or the render space. So this is what we've done. Let's try view it again. Let's go to rotate. You can see what we're achieving. Right, so the depth has come out, has really come out. Right, so this is what we are getting right now. It is trying to react to all the movement I did, but rather slowly. Okay, right, so let me go back to this and return it to the active camera. So we're going to be rotating this very shortly. We're going to be animating it using a null layer. So we're going to bring in a null layer, but first of all, let's see how many iterations of this we've done, how many duplicates we've done. We've done up to 41 of the back, because the whole thing is 42 minus 1, that is 41. Then you can see on the Z position of the last one, which is 42, the Z position is 42 pixels, so that is 42 position backward. Now what we're going to do is to use the null layer to rotate this. So how do we do that? We bring in above the front layer, or let's bring in camera. Let's bring in the camera first of all. Yeah, we can actually use the null layer, but the camera makes it a bit photoreality and image reality. So in terms of the motion design effect, so I'm bringing in a 50 millimeter camera, 1/0 camera. Okay, and it's right here. So I'm bringing in a null as well. I want to normally I use a null to animate my camera. So this is the null, it's in here. So, and to do this, we have to make the null 3D, then parent the camera to the null. So let's get back a bit in terms of the view. Remove this out of the way. So I've parented the camera to the null. Yes, I've done that. So we are going to do a 10 seconds animation of this. 10 seconds is fine. I want to actually, okay, let me leave it once. Okay, well, let me reduce this. I don't want it to play for too long before we decide where to end it. So let me bring it to somewhere around 12. I don't want it to exceed 10 seconds. So I want to end this at around 12. So trim comp to work area. So it takes, yeah, that's it. So let's animate the rotation of this null. R of this null. I pressed R. It brought out the rotation properties, and we are concerned with all the rotation property, all. So I've taken the keyframe off. Normally I start my animation after 1 second. Okay, since I'm gonna loop, let me put it at the beginning. I'm gonna loop so that it's seamless. I'm gonna loop this time. So right now I'm animating the y-axis rotation, right, and while that is happening, While that is happening, animating also the x-axis to kind of kind of rotate it on the downside a bit. I'm also doing the Z position just slightly, yeah. So that is it. Then we come back to somewhere here. We try to do it the other way, like this. Then just do what you think is okay, like this. This Z, I want to kind of put it properly, position it on the straight side. Oh no, it's gone too far. So okay, I'm good here, except that my keyframe is happening a little later. I think because I put it on half, and I know the reason I put it on half, because on half resolution, so it doesn't strain the capacity of the computer. Now we'll do something like this again. Then finally on 10, okay, let me do something here. Do what you think is good. What you think you like, it doesn't matter. Okay, the thing is on the downside. I have to yeah, that's okay. I use the Z rotation to kind of position it back. Then this, I could still repeat this last keyframe here for the x-axis. I just click on it, so it is stable. It is at a fix from here to here. The X part doesn't move. Then finally on 10, I want to copy all of this keyframe, Control C, and repeat them here, Control V. So it kind of gives it an illusion of loop. Yes. So if we play this, this is what we get. Okay, first of all, before we play, let me ease the keyframe. You can actually press F9 if you don't want to go the whole hog. Yeah, press F9 to ease instead of going the whole thing about selecting and going to ease, going to keyframe ease like this. You can press F9. I know that's simple. Okay, let's proceed. To having done this, let me return back the rotation keyframes. Having done this, then let's play it and see what is happening. I think the extrusion depth is too much. The extrusion depth is too much. Okay, well, I like the fact that it is looping seamlessly. It is looping seamlessly. So what we are going to do, the extrusion depth is too much. Maybe we'll remove 10 from the back. Let's go from let's go from 31 or 32 rather. From 32, select, press shift up to, this is 44. Oh really? Up to 44 and delete. Then save it. Save. Okay, when we save it, we try to play it again and see what the depth is. I think this is looking nice. This is looking nice. Then let me kind of or is it still big? Let's increase the view. I think it's still big. Let's do like up to 20. Yeah, up to 20. I think I went extremely too much. I want to. Okay, this nice. I think this nice. What I'm gonna do is to reduce this a bit, then come to a place wherever it's showing us the other side of it, the x-axis part of the, yeah, somewhere here. Yeah, I think this is nice, although it is upside down here. Okay, I think somewhere here it's yeah, somewhere here. Yeah, this nice. This nice. This is nice. So the good thing again is having done this, you can actually change this back side of the phone if you want with another phone, another back side if you want. So we can also demonstrate that. Yeah, this back side of the phone is looking quite dark, so I want to use another one that I downloaded earlier. Well, what I did is I had to make sure that it's the same size with the phone back that we are already seeing. But this is it. I call it phone back 2. So what I'm going to do now is I'll go back to the composition of the back phone or phone back. Double click on it. I don't want to do. I can actually do it here. It's the same thing, but just to show you, if it's not present here already, what you do, you double click on here. It will come to the timeline, right? Then you open this. What you do, you drag. Where is it? Okay, I haven't brought it in. So I'll have to bring it in. Right, it's here. What I do now is this is it. Is it 2? Let me expand this. No, not this. Expand this to see. Okay, it's 2. Phone back to. Right. So I press whilst I select this and select this, then I press Alt and drag it on top of it while still pressing Alt on my keyboard. It replaces it automatically with the same property, the same size, the same animation if it has any. Well, it has animation in the general. So I think it's a bit clearer now, so we can actually see it. I think the struggle we were having earlier was the fact that the back side, trying to see the side view, the back side was dark, but right now it is light. So let's start. Okay, somewhere here we can really view it, and it's looking. What we want to do now is actually add a shadow to this thing, and a shadow is very important because it helps sell the animation. So let's begin. So what I'm going to do is to select all the layers and pre-comp it except the background layer, which is the solid layer. So what I do is press I'm going to press shift, so it's selected, pre-compose, then I can name it shadow or I name it later, that doesn't matter. So this is it. Really I need to duplicate it before I name it shadow, so I wanted to check if why that bounding box is showing. bounding box is showing, or this bounding box, all of that. So I'm trying to check why it's showing. I'm suspecting it must be the solid layer. Well, let me check whether the phone is still playing. Okay, let me deactivate the solid layer. Okay, that is it. The solid layer is where the bounding box is. So let that not bother us, because solid is just the background. So I'm trying to see if it is playing. So I've duplicated it right now. Control D, that's what I did. I'm renaming it right now to be shadow. So it is shadow. So you can't see it because it's behind the main phone. But what I want to do is to make it 3D again, so that all the animation that I came with returns completely, on all the effects with it. So basically what I want to do is to create a shadow on this. So what I want to do next really is to press S at the scale property and unlink it, then take the Y scale property and put -100 there. What it does is to flip it. So once we do that, we press P to take the position and bring the Y-axis down as well. We'll bring it down. As you can see here, it's upside down. You can see, yeah. So we're drawing it down. We're dragging it down right now. So having done that, the next thing I want to do is to mask it. I'm gonna use rounded rectangle because the shape I'm masking is rounded rectangular shape. So I draw the mask around the shadow, right? So but I need to feather it. I need to go to the feather property, that is the mask, under the shadow, then the feather property. So drag it to increase the value. So having done that, I may also double click the mask then to adjust it properly, so it gives the effect we are looking for, the nice effect we are looking for. So what I can do is press T for opacity and reduce it a bit, so it also adds to the fading out. Okay, right. I think it's good at that. It's good at the value it is right now. So I think that is it. Let's play it and see. Yes, that is it. Yeah, it's rendering very, very good. It's rendering very, very good. This is nice. So guys, this is where we come to an end for this animation. Thank you for staying tuned. As always, take care and God bless. Please remember to subscribe, share and like, comment wherever it is necessary. Make your inputs. Will be up and doing to answer you in your comments, and we'll be doing more of this to continue to educate us and for greater value. Thank you, and once again, God bless. Bye for now. See you in the next one.